What weird magic will we learn today? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episode 3 of Frieren. This is shaping up to be a really soothing, relaxing, emotionally driven series that focuses a lot on Frieren not only learning magic and helping teach and guide Fern, but also just connecting more with people as this goes along. So, last time we got to see Fern age up a bit. We saw Heiter, I think his name was. We saw his passing and how Fern had been prepared for it and ready for it and everything. And we saw that in honor of Himmel, I believe his name was, the hero, they went to find, they spent like over half a year searching for these specific blue flowers, which they eventually did find. But yeah, it was a really soothing episode. Not much more else to say regarding it. But a lot of just a lot of good, soft character stuff. And I don't know, like, if this series is going to continue to be this soothing and relaxing and just general, for lack of a better word, I guess. Or if it is going to get a little more intense later on. But I'm definitely hoping that it at least keeps things interesting, because this could easily go the route of becoming boring. And I hope it doesn't, because these first two episodes were great. But I could easily see this becoming a little too monotonous and boring if it just remains too relaxed over the course of its run. It has to pick things up at some points. It has to introduce actual conflict, actual like issues to resolve, and actual like plot threads. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to keep at least my attention too well. And I know it's different for everybody. I'm just going based off what I feel regarding this. Different people have different tolerances for this kind of stuff. For me, it's like I need a little more with my stories. I need a little more than just comforting, cute stuff, like wholesome shit. It's like that stuff's great, but it doesn't really have the same impact if you don't have other stuff to balance it out with. The balance is important, because the wholesome stuff hits harder and is more, emotionally driven when you have it earned. When you compare it and contrast it to the more troubling stuff. That's what I look for in a lot of shows. I want that balance, and it can be done in a lot of different ways, obviously. You see this in Carol and Tuesday, and you also see it in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but you would never compare those two series. They are so different in their tone, their style, but both of them have that balance between cute, wholesome, nice stuff, content, and the more intense, like wild, emotionally driven stuff that like takes it to a different level. And again, it's done in different ways. With Full Alchemist Brotherhood, you have more action, you have more violence, you have more scares. With Carol and Tuesday, it's more about the journey of their music, and so you see like the issues they go through in their journey, the troubles that they go through in regards to this industry, as well as the conflicts of people around them and how it interacts with them as musicians and as people. It's a very different like scenario and specific situation going on, but the idea is the same. There is still that balance that needs to be achieved. And I really like that. I just really appreciate that both of those shows, despite being so insanely different, can both achieve that balance in their own way. So I'm not saying Frieren has to like go balls to the wall, war and shit. No, I don't expect it to, and I don't want it to, really. I mean, if it does, as long as it does it right, that's okay. But that's not really my desire for this series. I just want it to, add in some conflict, add in some trouble, add in some things that, cause there to be a little bit of an issue. It allows there to have a little bit more balance and make the more wholesome stuff just pop more. So that's what I'm hoping for with the future of this series. But we're only 2 episodes in, so you can keep up if you want to just do wholesome stuff right now. You can keep up with that for the time being. Now, also to know, I do know that the opening shows more characters in it, so I'm wondering what kind of like different viewpoints and conflicts and stuff they could bring in, because that could definitely bring forth this kind of change. Because right now, outside of Frieren's old adventuring party, it's mainly just her and Fern. Like, that's all we really have, besides the odd side character, the odd old woman of the village and stuff. In terms of main characters, we only have these two. So as we add in more characters, more main or at least major characters, their stories will become interwoven with Fern and Frieren's, and that's what I'm interested to see how that affects these two. Especially Frieren, because again, a huge part of this is her learning to interact with people and appreciate humanity and the time spent with them. So there's a lot of interest going into this. But that being said, I do want to mention that there are a lot of other great things to check out on this channel. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. On Monday, we also do YouTube reactions, or YouTube adjacent, stuff in that kind of vein, where it's just an extra short reaction that is usually pretty much always a donation reward from viewers and subscribers like you. On Saturdays and Sundays, we also do movie reactions, which again are also donation rewards for the most part from viewers and subscribers like yourself. Though sometimes I'll slip something else in. I record them during the week. I upload the movies on the weekends just to make sure every day has something going on. On Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, or Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, whichever order you want to go in, we're doing Spider-Man 2, Let's Play of that on the PS5. There's some audio issues in the first 9 parts, but we still have a lot of fun with it, and starting in parts 10 and forward, we should be good with the audio issues. And on Saturdays, we will now have Mutanotum, something like that. The name is so wild. But it is a donation reward video game Let's Play. This is a new thing we started. You can check out the video, the announcement video where I talk about the gaming reward months and everything, the PS5 game reward months. And yeah, this first one is donated for by Matthew Vasquez, and we will be starting that this Saturday, and it will be every Saturday. Those videos will be longer than the Spider-Man 2 Let's Play parts, because it's only one day a week. Probably between 1 to 2 hours. But yeah, that will be starting this Saturday. So yeah, a lot of great content to look forward to, but we should probably just get into this episode and see what Frieren has in store for us. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, because yes, we do redirect all of our reactions on this channel, just because of YouTube's copyright system. You understand. YouTube is shit when it comes to copyright, so for us to remain safe with this channel, it's just the best idea to push it onto another website. Because that way we can avoid any possible copyright strikes, or in worst case scenario, even the channel getting terminated. I've dealt with that before. It sucks. I don't want to deal with it again. So just to be safe, we do redirect it all. But there is a big positive here, because that means you, and yes, all of you, get to see the full reaction for free. Every time, no matter if it's a movie, a series, doesn't matter. You get to see the full reaction for free. There's no paywalls, no Patreon. You don't even have to sync up your own copy. You just click the link down in the description below and watch the entire thing for free. And after you do, you can come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts. And not only will contain spoilers to the episode, but just my general thoughts on it as well. And possibly even some other thoughts regarding the channel, the show as a whole, or even other things it might compare to. But that all being said, thank you, as always, so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So we got a bit of action in this episode. Not really any trouble, not really any real conflict, but it did, like, bring things up a little bit. And mind you, the first couple episodes had some spell work and stuff in them too, showcasing the extent of, like, the spell that Fern was trying to do to take out that rock when she was younger. And that in and of itself is really interesting. But here we actually got to see a full-on fight. Mind you, it was completely one-sided. Like, Fern and Frieren had that in the bag. And I love the explanation of it. I love how, like, this dude was this big, scary demon of the Demon King's army. This horrific threat whose original spell was this absolute killer. It killed all of these people. But after he was sealed 80 years ago by Frieren, humanity just studied his magic and got good. They just, like, improved on their defensive spells and their offensive spells, and now his special killer spell is nothing. And the funny thing is, it's like, not only is this funny because, like by modern standards, this former massive threat is just an absolute weakling now, but it's also funny because this is how things really work in real life. When something is perceived as a massive threat to humanity, scientists and historians and whatnot will study that. They will put everything they can into it to help us defend against it, whether it be some kind of weaponry, whether it be disease, etc., etc. That's why there's a lot of, like, diseases of the past that aren't really a big thing to us anymore. But in like older days, they would, like, be massive killers to people. That's why weaponry, guns and stuff of the past, we now see them as, like, oh, these are shit. But, like, that's compared to what we have now. It's the evolution of humanity, even in just something like 80 years, can be insane. And it's wild how much things can change. Like, guns and stuff from, like, the 20s to 40s and stuff would not really do anything to a modern soldier. Because of modern armor and stuff, it's able to handle, like, a lot more than guns of that time could dish out. Just as an example. And again, same with diseases and stuff. So it's really fun seeing that kind of expressed through this magic system and this horrific demon who nowadays is so, like, weak comparatively, that Frieren is able to kill him with his own spell, an improved version of his own spell, while he wasn't able to even hit them. because he kept getting blocked. All of his attacks kept getting blocked by a, let's be honest, unskilled mage in training. Like Fern is talented, but she's still in training. She still has a lot to learn. Like Frieren basically said as much with this episode, with her constantly reminding Fern that she needs to read that book. That magic is more than just application. Fern is not she's skilled, but she's not like the most practiced and most skilled out there. Like she's nothing compared to Frieren, obviously. So the fact that she's able to stave off this ancient demon's attacks with ease, like to the point where she's actually surprised and she's like, Miss Frieren, is that all he can do? It's like, that's really funny. That's just really funny. It's believable too. So it doesn't feel like a cop out. It doesn't feel like some stupid little, like, oh, our main characters are too powerful or anything. No, it feels believably realistic to how this would go at this point. Again, 80 years is a long time for humans. Things are going to change within that time. And especially when this demon was not able to grow and adapt with that. Because he was stuck in stone this entire time. He was not able to even know about the humans, adapting to that kind of thing. It's wild to think about. But this episode also featured this old man, who we find out 80 years ago was like this young kid who had flipped Frieren's skirt, and Himmel got pissed off on her behalf, though she didn't seem to really care all that much. That's really fun, seeing that this person she met 80 years ago is still there, a remnant of her old past, her old life, with her friends, who she, again, didn't truly appreciate when they were alive. And Himmel is the big one. Himmel is the one that caused her to realize this. Himmel's death in episode 1 caused her to break down, realizing she had not truly known him. And we see now, through these flashbacks in episodes 2 and 3, that was a conscious decision. And it makes it kind of sadder, because we see that Himmel wanted her to learn more about him. He wanted to teach her more about who he was. She just didn't pay attention. She didn't really care enough. It sounds like really harsh, but it's true. She didn't care enough. And I think she would fully agree with that. And that's why she's trying to change that. That's why she, even has Fern as an apprentice and all. Like, obviously she was kind of tricked into it by Hyder, but still. It's also because she wants to form these connections. The only reason she didn't want to take her as an apprentice originally is because she didn't want her slowing her down. But with how powerful and strong she's become, it's like she can handle that now. So, yeah. And they're definitely forming a bond. And like I said, I see it definitely as a mother-daughter bond. And not just because of the, age thing, with Frieren being a lot older than her. It just feels like that kind of relationship to me. Frieren very much acts motherly to her. And Fern is like this wide-eyed child learning from her mother. It's like that's very much the vibe. So like I said, the fact that apparently people ship these two kind of grosses me out. It's like that's just weird. I don't like that. I mean, I guess you do you, but still. Also, mind you, I know she's like 16 in this episode, so like kind of shipping her at this point with Frieren is also weird on that level. But I also know she does become an adult. There's been multiple time skips already. So it's like, I know that it's like they're shipping adult Fern with Frieren, so I just want to mention that I am aware there. I also like the first part of this before it gets into the demon and everything. When it's just like, oh, it's Fern's birthday and Frieren is going out to buy her a present and stuff, and find out where there's a nice place for sweets. But Fern doesn't know this, so she's following her around, all suspicious, like doubting her, because usually when Frieren roams off and does this stuff, she buys stupid shit. Which, fair, kind of valid. People do that, yeah. But the things she bought, like that giant skull, it's like, why? Like, do you plan on powdering it for like use in potions or something? Because that, okay, if that were the case, I could actually understand that. That actually goes according to her studies and whatnot. That makes sense. But the potion that like only dissolves clothes, it's like, why does that even exist? Much less, why did you buy it? It's like that just, I don't even see how you could use that. And then the third thing, of course, was just completely fine. It's like the book and everything. It's like, oh yeah, that's normal. That's completely fair. Um, but yeah, I also love how just surprisingly wholesome those roughneck adventures were about helping her find a good place for sweets. It's like that is just weirdly wholesome and cute. And I've always liked that trope when you have like these roughneck, like hardcore looking characters who just end up being absolute sweethearts. I love that trope. It is adorable to me. And it's been done in a lot of different things. Just as one example, I can give you Gravity Falls actually did it. Mabel kind of had a little moment with one of them in I think in a bar. Yeah, I think it was in a bar when they were investigating. Um, they did like a keeper trapper thing, so that was fun. But yeah, the trope's been done in plenty of places, but it's still it's a good trope. It's a really fun trope, and I always enjoy it. Yeah, just this was another good episode. It had the soothing stuff, but it did actually like pump it up a little bit, even though it was super one sided. But again, the reason for it being one sided was so well like explained and handled. It just made so much sense and was funny to boot. So I can't complain. But yeah, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Frieren? And just as a reminder, we have a lot of other great content to check out on this channel. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions. Mondays, we also do YouTube reactions or YouTube adjacent reactions, that kind of thing. An extra little reaction, usually just a donation reward, just to get some of those out of my backlog. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday. They're recorded earlier in the week, but I put them up on the weekend. Those are pretty much always donation rewards as well. On Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we have Spider Man 2 Let's Play on the PS5. And on Saturdays, starting this week, we will have a Let's Play of Anno Mutate, something like that. It's hard to read the logo on the screen right here, but it's a game reward for Matthew Vasquez. That will be starting this week. If you want more info on the PS5 game reward months, there is a video on the channel. You can check that out there. All the info is given regarding that. If you wish to donate to have me play a specific game on the PS5. But all of that being said, thank you so much once again for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.